Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back to some Factorio. And today is the day. We've been building up to this day for a very long time. And now we are finally there. The robots are just finishing building up the station. Good morning, Billy. Very nice to see you here. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very special episode because we are finally building the labs. So we've got all the different science builds. We got red science backed up. We got green science, one single green science because it only just started up, but there will be many, many more coming down the pipes in a little while. And blue science is pretty much filled up. So now we can get the labs going and then look how much, or it's not too much, but it is a very decent amount of blue science, and we're also going to get some military science going and a little bit of the old, whatchamacallit, pink science, which we've already got set up. So let's start off with these labs. So we're going to do a few, the red and then the green. And then I'll actually leave this. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to ship in the alien plant life samples, but I think military science. Oh, I'm not sure about military science. I'll just ship in the blue for now. I won't leave a space for these guys anyway. But I have been thinking about it actually. One of the things I realized just before I started this stream is, can I actually do two belts out of a single station? Because that would make things a lot easier. And the answer is yes. I think if we move the power pole up by one, it's no longer joining, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm sure we could figure out a way around that. We could just move this power pole up by one, I think. It's not hooked up to any sort of network, so we could redesign it. And then what we'd have is two belts coming out, and we'd have 4 bulk inserters for each belt. And that would be relatively easy. Whether it would work, I assume it would work with green belts as well, because we'll have insane inserters by then. But yeah, should be able to handle that. And what I'm going to do with this lab setup is something that I don't think I've ever done before. I've seen other people do it, but I've never done it myself. And that is going to be a sushi. So we're going to do a sushi setup for the labs. Because usually I do, usually I do it a little bit differently. I do some fancy belt related stuff, but it always gets a little bit annoying. How many labs is that? 21. All right. 60. Let's do it a bit fancy, shall we? Let's do it a bit fancy. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. I like that. I like the idea of doing it this way. So we do this. Actually. There we go. A little bit of style there, and I'm going to also do a belt balancer. Okay. Okay, that one can go up there. That one can go up like that. And then what we do is we have some fast inserters. A little bit of power over here, please. And then this will be hold all belts. It's interesting. It's supposed to highlight all the belts on the edge. It's perhaps not doing that because it's a ghost, but yeah. And then we'll say enable, disable if red signs is less than, we'll say 200 for now. And then we'll may adjust that later. But this little setup here will ensure that it all gets balanced out to both sides, and then we don't even need to pass lab to lab. We can just do it directly like this. And I mean, I don't mind passing lab to lab, but it's kind of neat to not do it for once. Just have belts everywhere that just handle it. And there we go, job done. So that'll get built when it gets built. And now we can go back here and we've got a few trains lined up. And I'm actually going to break convention a little bit, and we're going to have one train per science. Later on, when we start mega basing, then we'll probably may need more. But for now, I think one train per science is fine. Okay. Yup, that's not what I wanted. Empty cargo. And then we just need the blue. And the blue signs, there should definitely be enough for at least one train. Okay. I was about to search for blue and then I realized, no, that's a terrible idea. That's not going to give us anything. Empty cargo, refuel, and then depot. Excuse me for a sec. I think I'm going to have a drink. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Now I feel a little bit better. So, these trains will probably get stalled in the station because the unload stations haven't been built yet, but eventually that'll get turned around. If we have a look, looks like our robots are doing all right. Looks like we're just waiting on things to be built. So that means that right now, we get out of this train view. Yeah. Everything that needs to be built is being built. Obviously, except for all of these labs and stuff, because they're outside the range of row reports. But these row reports are being built. This one is being built. So in just a couple of minutes, we should have all these highlighted. And we will be able to see if we actually have... No, don't have labs. Labs currently not being built. Basic transport belt, really? You need basic transport belt to build a lab. That's annoying. Might be able to do it here, actually. Yeah, look at this. Okay, that looks like a nice place. Iron gears, iron circuits. Alright. And let's make that a nice red one. You pick up. You pick up. You pick up. And it didn't actually use any straight iron, I don't believe, so... Okay, that should take care of all the power, and then that's the lab. Yeah. No straight iron for that building, just regular products. And we might upgrade some of these inserters. Okay, so that's labs done. Shouldn't be anything else in that build that needs to happen there, but should be all good. So our plan for today is going to be starting to build the mega mall. We're definitely going to get transport science packs done. And once they're done, we've got this little setup over here to make 100 transport science packs, basically. And then we're just going to move up. Okay, yep. Excuse me. Yeah. We got 100 transport science packs coming out, and that should be fine. Should be absolutely fine. And then we'll just have to manually chug them over. Well, actually, while we're waiting, we could manually chug them over to the new lab setup, or we could manually go up to blue science and grab 100 blue science right now, bring them back, and then we can chuck those and the pink science into our old lab setup. When we got to the point where we've got all the prerequisites undone. Oh god, the trees. So many trees. I'm looking forward to the day when I feel comfortable enough with our robots to just delete all of those trees. But if I do it right now... Yeah, we're driving on the train tracks. Oh, Jesus, that was close. Okay. I think I tested it once, and I don't think a train will destroy a car. I think they both come out heavily damaged, but okay. And I'm still not sure what happened to that train that I ran into once. Whether it survived or not. I mean, it definitely survived, but whether it's still half damaged or whether the bots actually ran over and fixed it. It's very hard to keep track of trains. The individual health of trains in this space. I don't know if there's some sort of circuit method of doing that, but yeah, I haven't really been keeping track of it, and it's not a concern for the vast majority. What station are we passing? Is it? No, it's not plastic. I think it's advanced circuits. I think we just passed advanced circuits on the left. Okay. So now we cross over and we should be at blue science. So what we need, I'm going to take 200. I think we only need 100 for this. But we'll take 200 anyway. And yeah, there we go. Oh, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. This is not working well. Hopefully they're not trying to take anything out of the bloody car. I mean, inserters can access things inside cars, so probably could do it, but what's it going to do? Like, take out some coal, try and put in an inserter? I mean, hopefully, doesn't look like any inserters are stuck there. Like, they accidentally picked up coal and now they're just stuck for eternity. It doesn't look like that happened, so I think we're okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Going the wrong way down a train track. Not good. Not good. Oh, thank God that train was on the other line. Just this one. We're surrounded by a clear area, and we just happen to go through this one forested area. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. Damn forests everywhere. Okay, but the important thing you have to remember about this playthrough is that we are using robots to build everything, and the robots are not super fast. And they currently have to travel all the way from the starter base all the way up to where they're building stuff. And that travel distance is significant. So while it might look like I'm flubbing around and running into trees and so on and so forth, what you need to remember is that while I'm doing this, the bots are actually building the base. And the bots, they're not super fast. So even if I instantly teleported, I would still be waiting, so I might as well drive around a little bit, enjoy the scenery. And yes, well, it's one way to get rid of the trees anyway. I do eventually want to get rid of all these trees, but we're helping the bots out in the future by getting rid of a few trees here and there. Okay, that's beautiful. So, theoretically, everything is done, everything is in place, so we should just be able to sit back, relax, and as soon as the science, logistics 3 up the top right there, starts ticking over, then we know that that build has advanced to a point where we can start moving on and start playing with the pink signs. Because as soon as that starts going, it'll start going quick. But, yeah. Okay, very nice. We've actually got... So green science is not too bad. It's over halfway there to making a full train wagon. And all of this stuff is looking good. Let's just double check. Okay, we're just waiting on that building. Yeah, assembly machines are one of the things that we're actually slow on. And it's actually backed up. I think still green science is waiting for a bunch of them. All 3 sciences are waiting for a bunch of assembly machines. So what I might actually do is I might downgrade that to a yellow one. We'll get that placed so we can start working, and then we'll upgrade it. So at least it'll work while it's waiting. Okay. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I mean, the Mega Mall is important, but I think solar is a bit more important. So let's start working on solar. And we do have a list of everything that we need to get solar started. And the first thing is lead rolls. Now, if we have a look at the recipe, which it doesn't show all the recipes in map mode, which is unfortunate, but it's pretty much lead ingots and that. So what we can do here is we could probably just copy the iron build. So that recipe looks the same. 284, 284. Yeah, that recipe looks completely the same. That's not the one I want. Okay. Now this is vastly overbuilding for lead. We do not need this much lead, but... Oh, and if you hold down control while you're doing this, we'll automatically remove this power pole, which is really nice. Okay. So we got a little bit of a dry mouth at the moment. Hopefully it's not actually coming through on the microphone, but it may be, so. A little bit annoying, but. Okay, we should have lead ingots already on the train network because, of course, we're already making solder. And I believe that solder was already using lead ingots, so that should be fine. And then lead sheet coils, and that is it. Well, no, that's not it. We got to change the recipes over, but other than that, yeah, exactly the same. Okay, and then you need to be lead sheet coils. Again, massively overbuilt. And I also want to get rid of these trees because we're going to need to verify that this offshore pump is working correctly. And it's very hard to do that when there are trees everywhere. But that's it. We'll need to set up a train for the lead sheet coils, but other than that, we should be good to go. Okay. Starting to see some labs created. Looks like as soon as the belt is placed down, it does become yellow, which is very nice. So yeah, this system should be running great, and we're just waiting. Oh, the train just started heading to the load station. Okay, that's beautiful. So, lead rolls done. So now we're going to move off and do glass, I think. Yeah, we could do glass up here, actually. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that just to keep it in line with everything else that's kind of going on. Yeah. I think I definitely want to do it up here. So we got a nice silicon line, silicon ore, silicon ingots, and then monosilicon, and then monosilicon used in glass. Okay, so we'll do glass up there. Batteries, I feel like we're a little bit more, can put it wherever I want. So we could even put it in the petrochem. It's kind of like a combined product, but there's really, the middle is meant to be combined products, but we run out of room. And I'm leaving this area for hybrid catalysts, so we can have all three catalysts in the same block. And then we're going to have the Mega Mall, and I think right above the Mega Mall, I'm going to have pink, purple, and yellow signs all in a row, right above the Mega Mall. So that's a lot of vertical space to take up. So I think we just put batteries here. Okay, so we got batteries, and let's just have a look at, I'm pretty sure batteries are one of those things. They're needed for accumulators, and they're needed for roboports, flying robot frames, whole bunch of different weapon stuff. The point is, I think they need their own station. If we built them on site for the solar build, we'd also have to build them on site for the Mega Mall, because the Mega Mall will be in charge of building future robots, including the Mark II ones. So yeah, I think it makes sense to just do that right here. Okay, station load. Batteries. And this is only the first battery that we need. So I'm no longer aiming for like a full red belt. It doesn't matter anyway. Like lead scrolls, steel plate. So we don't need multiple input stations for any of these guys. Let's get some sulfuric acid. And then we'll get what did we say? We need lead sheet coils. I keep calling them scrolls, but it's all good. And then steel sheet coils. So this is an actual chain being refilled. Looks like copper ingots. Nice. All right. So these ones can be lead sheet coils. Lead. Beautiful. And like every other train, we're going to have them just run off and do their own thing. Alright, gonna get rid of those bloody things. Yeah, again, it's one of those things where I got braces and I need to wear rubber bands in them. And for some reason, having the rubber bands in there, they always make my mouth water a lot. And I think it comes across in the microphone, so I'm supposed to have them all in all the time, but I think I'm just going to take them out. Alrighty. We've got a few labs out here. No power as yet. But all these power poles on the way, so we just put that one there. And then green science, we are so close to actually having some science be put on. We just need to wait a little bit longer. And we're all good. So now it is time do some basics. Basic blocks. And I feel like I just want to... We're going to need glass. So let's get glass set up. I might as well do all three of these. It's going to be a lot of pressure on the bots, but I think our power grid can handle it. The most important thing is that we get this station up and running. Yeah, look at all those bots that just completely went nuts. Oh. Did they? Maybe they were nuts already, but... We're seeing that we've suddenly got a whole bunch of bots going places. And power is good. We're actually... The steam engines are producing 1 gigawatts. That is very nice to see. So if we have a look over here, the steam engines have actually been switching off. I'm pretty sure that's not a brownout. I'm pretty sure that's just the steam engine switching off. And then as soon as they switch off, you can see the accumulators switch on even during the middle of the day because we just need so much power. So the base 400 that we get from solar is not enough to keep our base running. But that will all be sorted out fairly soon. So yeah, we could sit and watch this, but that will happen pretty quickly. I think we just need this power pole and then some of these labs will start to come online and then we're all good. So while we're waiting for that, it's very close now. Let's get some batteries going. So I believe it should be just that. Okay. All right, here's what we'll do. So steel goes up, batteries come down, and we are going to want this build to be pretty hefty because the accumulators, we're going to want a ton of them, and they take 10 batteries each. So if we have a look, this blueprint requires 700 batteries. So if we make 30 batteries per second, which I'm not sure we could actually manage, but you know, we make 30 per second, then that means 3 accumulators per second, which means that that blueprint takes 200 seconds, a bit over 200 seconds, which is a bit over 4 minutes. Bit over 3 minutes. You know what? That's not too bad. That's actually pretty good. So, all right, maybe what we'll aim for is 15 because just a yellow belt, because I don't really think we can do a full 30. I think if we try and do a full 30, the steel will fall over really, really badly. So let's aim for 15. Right. Okay. And long and long. Okay. So this one is 1 battery every 4 seconds, but it's 1.75. So 0.25 times 1.75 is 0.375, which is what this number actually is. Okay. So 15 divided by 0.4375 is 34 and a bit, so we're just going to make that 36. 8, 10, 12. Okay. Probably a bit too many power poles, to be honest. Can we clean those up a little bit? I feel like we don't need these ones. These ones I'm not so sure about. If we get rid of that. Actually, I think that works. And we get rid of that, and we get rid of that. Okay. So that's 12. $24. 36. All right, beautiful. And that's definitely hooked up to power. Okay, let's get it done. It really annoys me how these underground pipes don't quite make it all the way there. I'm sure if we use a different material other than iron for our underground pipes, they might have a longer underground length. Yeah, iron is 11, and then... So eventually we could do it with plastic, because we are producing a lot of plastic, or brass, or there's probably... I think titanium is probably even better, but that's going to be a while before we get to titanium. All right. All right. It is going to be interesting because I think solar is going to be the restricting factor. Solar takes a ton of electronic circuits, and when we built the electronic circuit factory, we built it decent, but it is still 15 per second. Maybe we could upgrade these to be I think you could upgrade it to be 30 per second, but that's still... like 2 solar panels a second. So solar panels are crazy. And even if we got to 2 solar panels a second, that's still 350 seconds for this blueprint, approximately, which is longer than the 200, 240 we said for the accumulators. So yeah, I think green circuits are going to be the thing that slows us down. So even if we went for a red belt here, it just means the accumulators will get pasted down faster than the solar panels, which really doesn't help us all that much. Okay, so all of these trains should be all good to go. We just need to uncoil them now. So steel, we need 15 steel per second. Okay. And you, if we alright. So 3 should do that. Is this the steel train? It is the steel train. Alright, beautiful. Doing a little bit of pipe belt weaving here, which is fine. And I can't quite fit that without an extra power pole, which I think I'll do. Do an extra power pole. All right. Shift in, shift in, shift in. And here we need a little bit more. We need a total of 30 of these guys. Which should be doable. Although actually, gonna need to do that. I know I've been building everything in this entire bloody base with the idea that, oh yeah, it's built around red belts, and then I never actually put red belts anywhere. But we're gonna put a couple here. And we're just going to say, look at that. It's so beautiful. And we will... I don't know if I'm actually going to put red belts everywhere. Because I was planning on doing it. But then I realized... Okay. You know what? We actually don't need 30 blue signs per second. We don't need 50... We don't need 30 any signs per second. Because... we're limited by the amount of science we have to actually research. And I know it's a bit crazy looking at this, but we got plenty of other stuff to build while all this research is going on. So it's not like the only time you really care about SPM is at the end game when you're actually building a mega base, or if your SPM is like stupidly low, like 5 SPM or something like that. I mean, right now, even if we just stick to yellow belts, we're currently doing 900 SPM. One yellow belt is 900 SPM. For just getting through the game, that's insane. That's a lot of blue science. I see. Because these belts haven't been put down, we haven't actually got that stuff. Alright. I'm going to turn that off for a second because until these belts actually get placed... Ooh, 400k iron plates per hour. I wasn't even trying to do that. I wonder how that works with the sheet coils. Interesting question. Alright, so as soon as these belts get placed, we can turn those back on, but we do have actual labs almost running. Almost, they just need some red signs, but I think we've overproduced on the... Once these belts all get hooked up, it'll all go all the way over to here, and it'll include these. The belt, hold all belts, read belt contents. Does get stopped by a splitter, but because it's a loop, it'll loop all the way around to the other side, and it'll be fine. Okay. So, batteries, done. Now we just need some glass, which we're going to build over here, which is going to take a while to get that done, but while that is being done, we could start to work on the actual mall, the mega mall, or at least the input logic for the mega mall. And yeah, I think so. I think that's what we should do. Sulfuric acid getting filled up very quickly. Okay, so these are all fine. They should have power. We'll have power for these guys. These guys are hooked up here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm going to move this over by 1 and put a power pole because I am extremely anal. And there we go. Okay, we just got to leave that. Let's have a look down here. What's going on? We got some lead ingots coming in. We've got some... we've got some lead coils already coming out. Beautiful. All right, so everything is working there. And I'm surprised by how quickly they got these pipes down, but clearly our efforts... Alright, you guys are definitely getting constrained because I do not need a lot of these. But we will make it at least 3 train loads, because if you make it only 2 train loads and you've got 3 trains, then that means the 3rd train is always going to be in the depot unless you're actually using this up at a constant rate. So if you make it 3 train loads, then 1 train will be here, 2 more will be waiting. Because I'd prefer not to have a huge amount of trains just sitting in the depot at all times, like we have right now. Yeah, red circuits. I guess we're not producing as many of those as we should be. Why are we not producing as many red circuits? That's an interesting question. Why are we not producing enough transistors? Silver wire. We do have 2 stations for silver wire, and apparently they're not going all that fast. This is what we need the display for. Okay, it's fine. It's just... it's producing as much as it can. So we're basically putting in 1 yellow belt here. It's meant to be a red belt. It could be a red belt, but we haven't upgraded it yet. So I think that's how we'll do it. That's how we'll upgrade red belts, is we'll sort of say, okay, this particular bit needs a red belt. This particular bit, advanced circuits, we're using a lot in the mall. Let's upgrade that chain to red belts. Now, these guys all look pretty good. Coal looks pretty solid. So I don't think we need to start upgrading these guys to red belts. Maybe at some point we will. Yeah. 51, 46, 49. We got 4 stations per ore. Okay, that's pretty impressive. I was wondering why there were so many. Oh, and we're starting to see, look at that, logistics 3, 32%. Absolutely fantastic. All right. So it doesn't actually include these bits here. But that's fine. You can see this one's turned off immediately. There's over 300 on the belt. It's not actually that much, 300. It would make sense if we got 6 science on there, but yeah. Maybe we need to up this number a little bit. Okay. Because, yeah, 125 and then 19. Definitely need to get a lot more red science on there. which of course makes it hard because the red science is struggling to put it on because the blue science was absolutely smothering that belt. But now we're getting plenty of the red science. I wonder if inserter throughput is going to be a problem. We may need to upgrade these inserters eventually. But then again, this is not going to be our end game lab setup, because our end game lab setup is potentially going to have I gotta say, I think we're definitely going for 9K SPM, which is, I'm pretty sure 9K divided by 60 is 150 per second, so that's going to be 2 green belts, which are 75 each. Depending on how good the prod modules are, we might even go for more. We might go for 18K. I think 18K might be a bit of a stretch, but we are having pretty good prod modules. We got level 4, actually level 5 prod modules, which I think go up to 20%. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but then again, that is going to be 4 green belts, 300 per second of every single science, which is nuts. So I think we aim for 9K, and then along the way we may double it to 18. But I'm really not sure how possible that is. Well, I mean, it's possible, but I'm not sure how my computer would handle that. If it turns out we need like 12 different iron stations or something like that, then I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'd go for it. But then again, I don't want to build a 9K base and then say, okay, it's going good, let's double it. I want to have an aim and figure out beforehand what the aim is going to be. Okay, beautiful. So we got some science. It's not ticking along as fast as I would like. A lot of the reason is just because this belt is so damn long. This belt is just so damn long. Alright. I think we up this to 500. Up this to 500 and then really start saturating this belt with a lot of science. And once all the labs actually get placed down, which it looks like, the first time in like 10 episodes we haven't had anything waiting to be built. That is an achievement in itself, but yeah. I mean, here's the really interesting thing that we need to keep in mind. We are producing 15 science per second. I can't believe I didn't think of this. We're producing 15 science per second of each of these. So we're producing 45 science per second total. And I just realized how stupid this build is, because this build will allow a maximum of 15 science of all 3 combined to actually be used. Which is not good. Which is really not good. Alright. So we need to rethink this because, yeah, this is a very nice build, but it is absolutely not actually taking into account how fast we're building science. We need to be pumping that 15 science a second into these labs as fast as possible. I still do like the little loop-de-loop thing going on here. And I would prefer not. I mean, we can faff it in later, but I think what we need to do is we need to have this be its own loop. So what we have is we have a loop here. And then a loop here. And then get rid of these in the middle. Oh, we got our transport science packs created. Okay, beautiful. Logistics science. You are belts. You are inserters. I got those around the wrong way, but whatever. What's your deal? Oh, I forgot to actually hook up an inserter right there. Okay, let's get that done. Beautiful. Okay. So that'll eventually get us 100 logistics signs. All right. Let's get back to the labs. Okay. I'm going to close that one off. And then I'm trying as hard as possible not to have... I mean, we just deleted a whole bunch of stuff in there anyway, so it's fine. There we go. So that'll be a good way of doing it. We still get to use our zoomy round and round build. Actually. But we have it we have 4 different loops, basically. And that way, everything is good. Okay, so I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We'll do it onto the power pole and then to the inserters, and then we can hover over the power pole and see what all 3 of them are. Okay. So now we're going to go less than 200. And then green will be less than 200 and blue will be less than 200. Alright, so that's there, that's there, that's there, and that's there. Alright. So we'll cut the red one off nice and short. And then actually reverse these. What was I trying to do? No, that's fine. That's actually the way we want it. It's actually... What am I doing? I'm going crazy here. Kind of want to move this up by 1. This whole thing up by 1. Alright. There we go. That's better. And this one, hopefully these will just drain off into this pack. And now... probably made a little bit more difficult by the fact that we built all those stations over the other side of the base, because that's going to slow down the bots actually able to update this stuff, but it's all good. And then we just need the blue. Yeah. Little bit of a spaghetti nightmare, but it's all good. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of all this. Just make it simpler. And there we go. You need power. You need power. You need power. Okay, fantastic. So, how many of these we got? 33. Okay, that's going to take a while. So as soon as these finish, we'll go over and then we'll start getting that stuff going. This station not ready to go yet. Batteries are pretty good. I'm going to leave these guys open. I think I'm just going to leave that open because they're a key ingredient in accumulators, so we might as well have a lot of them. Yeah, I do love this. Tons of sulfuric acid, so should be good, and we'll give the bots a little bit more to do. All right. So now it's just glass and solar. We could make the solar station right now, but I think I want to start working on the mega mall a little bit. And this is actually going to be a completely different type. Oh, what did I just do? A completely different type of train station. So we're going to start with an unload station. And then we're just going to put anything we're not making in here. We get rid of these because we don't need them. This is just going to be an active provider chest. We need these for. We don't need these. Don't need that. Don't need that. There's only ever going to be one train here. And this is going to be called Mall Unload 1. So there's going to be one single train that ever goes to this station, and that's it. Now, we do need... I'm going to get... I'm not sure how many combinators we're actually going to need, but... I think we'll just... We'll do it a little bit up here. We'll do it, have a little circuit area up here. And we're going to need... let's get... Boom. I'm going to aim... I think we'll aim for 5 trains. 5 may be pushing it a little bit, but... Okay, we can stretch the wire across this guy. Okay. So you are going to be... We also need access to a roboport. Might as well just use this one, actually. A little bit... maybe... You know what? Maybe I'll just put it down here and just use this one, because then we got a roboport on hand. Okay. Nice little power pole over here. Don't need these 2 anymore. Red signal... Read logistics network contents, take everything, multiply it by -1. Okay, as soon as that gets placed down, we should see some stuff. And then we have our signal. input. I just realized we're actually going to need a separate guy for each station. And this one goes down here and goes onto the station. So we didn't even need these red and green wires anymore. I mean, they're... we could get rid of them, but whatever. Okay, so we're not setting the train limit. We are sending the circuit network to the train. Alright. On the science, 66. Not quite enough yet. Alright, let's go over. We're making the combinators over here somewhere at the moment. There we are. And the selector combinator requires red circuits. Okay. Decider, green circuits, and tinned wire. So green circuits... We're not really putting tinned wire anywhere, is the problem. Maybe I'll just handcraft them, because we're not going to need that many. We're going to need like 5 for the entire base. We're not going to be using them en masse. So, yeah. Maybe I'll just do it myself. I don't have any red circuits on hand. Alright, let's just get 10 of these. Chuck them in the robot network. Done. Okay. So now we should be able to test this out fairly easily. We need a train over here. Just going to create one train for now. And yeah. Let's just double check what's happening with the labs. Okay. Waiting for things to happen. These guys are all hooked up so we can turn them around. Turn them around. Turn them around and turn them around. Still waiting for some belts to be placed, but looks like these guys have got the full loop of belts and they're looking pretty good. So yeah. Okay. It's complaining about this, but maybe it hasn't actually made it in. Okay, select input, sort descending. So we want the highest number first, index 0. Alright, good. And what we also need is a way to filter out now what we need is actually a way to not get anything if it's not big enough for the train. So let's do that now, because I forgot about that part, but we definitely do. Otherwise it will say, oh, -1 power pole because we're missing a power pole, and that will come out as a 1, and then the train will be like, hey, where do I get power poles? No idea. And we can use some of the circuit logic that we actually did before. So, I think we actually need a second one of these. So that will read in stack size, which we definitely want. So that'll, whatever the signal is that's the highest, will read in the stack size, which we definitely need. And then we need to do a couple of divisions. Yeah. So first of all, we take this red signal, and then we take the green signal, and then this one No, we need it. Sorry, we need an arithmetic combinator. What am I doing? So the red signal is the actual thing, and the green signal... No, the red signal is the actual thing. And then we need to get rid of this one. And the green signal is the stack size. So we take the red signal and divide it by the green signal. That'll tell us how many stacks. And then we take this. We also need to pass in the red signal C, which we're going to have to look at. This guy, this is what this guy does. Okay, so you are from this one. You take C, multiply by 1, output to C. So this is going to be whatever is in the red signal divided by C. And that should be 1. It should be 1 or more if we actually need a full train load. And then we can go on to the next step, which is a little bit awkward because we've got to wait for all those things. So more 1 unload until empty. I don't think this one actually needs a depot. It does need a mall pickup interrupt. So circuit, I don't think we need a circuit condition. Actually we do. We need circuit condition. I'm not really sure. We are going to have to experiment with this, I think. Yeah, going to have to experiment. For now, I'm going to say station is not full. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say item parameter space load. Empty cargo. Cargo is empty. Signal parameter is not full. Then we go to signal parameter load. And we say we're full. Okay. And then as soon as it finishes this interrupt, it'll go back to the mall. It'll empty its cargo inventory. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's all we need. More pickup. So it depends on this input thing. So if we make you automated, you should go to more unload 1. So we'll watch this guy a little bit. I would say we'll go with him, but we need to get this. All right, 111. Done. Beautiful. We could make a few more if we really wanted to, but I'm just going to make 111 at this point. We go. The only reason I would want to go over there is so I can make the machines get built a little bit faster, but they're not too bad at the moment. All right, is there a little warehouse that we can plop some stuff in? No, the warehouse was to store goods to make the blue signs. All right. Let's go down here. Let's make you do this. All right. Actually, let's do this one near. You have all the pink, you have all the blue. Okay, that should hopefully prevent it from doing any sort of weird deadlock. Okay. Now we're good to go. What did we need next for this? It was silver? Silver was the next one we wanted. Yeah, so we get the silver wire coils. And then after that, everything is just gravy. I mean, we could get, actually, we can get 2 levels of worker robot speed. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. That's 400. I don't care about worker robot cargo size, but yeah. Plus 55 and plus 45, that is huge. So that's a total of 400 science. So we'll get that sorted out, I think. Gonna need to, I think instead of taking a trip up to get more blue science, what we'll do is we'll just build the logistic science and then just transport it up ourselves. Okay, so you're not building that because you need more red circuits. All right, so we need 400. I'll wait for these to go through. If our logic is good, oh, you actually need to do this. I'm gonna wait for these to come. Really? I could have sworn I got rid of them out of my inventory. They should be... No, I didn't. Oh, I've got them in there. Okay, let's turn this off. And let's go ahead. And no wonder they weren't being created. All right, let's chuck them in there. And I think I'll turn these off for now since we're not actually making them. Okay, now they should be getting placed. Excellent. Okay. Okay. All right. 400. Let's make 400 more logistic science. Because getting the bots up, so that'll be 133 robot frames. Alright, that's enough. There's no other pink science that we want, is there? I mean, the only other thing I'd want is robots, but worker robot cargo size, don't care. It's just the speed. We need the speed. Yeah, I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Alright. Go all the way over here. It's a bit of a long walk, but... Now... 133 express inserters. Okay, so 133 advanced circuits. And 133 of these fast inserters. The fast inserters we can just dump them in. And the bots will bring us more. Where's my... I'm trying to pick up advanced circuits without picking up too much other stuff. Okay, so 133. Yep. Okay, they're going up nice and slow, but enough. It's definitely fast enough. 133 done. Okay. And did I guess I didn't actually hook up the aluminium to this properly, even though it's right here. Okay. You know what? There we go. All right. So that was requester chests done. So we can now build them, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Well, actually, one other thing that we may need is silos. Because, I mean, I just said we need active... Okay, that's 50. So 450. So we need... 50 is 16. So we need 16 more of the red circuits and the bot thingamybobs. That's already 50. That you build them up like crazy. And then red circuits. And it doesn't really matter if I pick up too many, but... And I think those were the main two ingredients that we were actually throwing in there, sort of hacky-like. I think that was the case. Here we go. That probably cleared up my inventory quite a bit. Yeah, these are being made. These ones are like that. These ones are being made. Okay, so you're pretty slow, but this one's... we need more inserters, of course. We probably need another 50 in here, so I'll just have to wait for another 50 to show up and then drop them off. This one's fine. Oh, already got 50. All right, let's chuck them in there. Yep, now they're approximately the same. So yeah, that'll be these three things, which is all good. How is all our different bases working? Okay, research is going pretty damn good, I'd say. That's a very nice loop with a lot of science. Nice loop, nice loop, nice loop. We're not actually quite using up. Well, I mean, we stopped using it because we stopped researching, but let's start churning through some of these guys. I don't really care what signs we get anymore, as long as it's using stuff up. That's what I like to see. Water treatment 3. Oh, it's only 30. Okay. 50, yeah. Long insert is 2. That'll actually be really nice. And then thermal. What's a big one that we can get? Like a 300 or 400. There's a 200. Okay, so that takes a little while. It takes a little while, but that's still pretty fast for 200. This is going to take forever. Okay. Yeah, we're going to cancel those and we're just going to line it up. There is an auto research mod you can get, which is really nice. I haven't got that mod. Used to use it. Don't really use it anymore too much, but let's see how we're doing over here. Just waiting for these guys. The selector and then the selector. Over here, so everything's a negative. Everything's a negative. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is slow as, but modules are fairly well out of our range. Actually, let's have a look. We'll ignore that for now. So we know solar and megamall is stuff that we want. What do we want after that? So this is a very high level. Purple science, yellow science, modules. And when I say I want all the other 3 sciences, it's not so much that I want to build them properly. It's that I want to have them so we can research stuff, because I want to basically, I want to unlock all of the different buildings. So if we have a look at assembly machines, we want this. We want assembly machine 6. And we want it built in the mega mall. We want this thing. I mean, we're going to need hundreds of them. So theoretically, and that, I think what that means is that we're going to need to build space signs as well. So before we do modules, because when we build modules, we want to build them at a decent rate. Which means we want to use the best of the best of the best buildings. So I think, yeah, I think it's going to be, it's not going to be hacky science like this. We're still going to need a lot of science to actually get through all of these. But yeah. We're not going to have to go into the research menu that much. We're just really zipping through the small ones at the moment. But eventually we'll get where everything is like 200 or 300 plus. And then it'll last a little bit longer. All right. So what do we... I mean, next we do have solar as our next project. Obviously, we've got the Mega Mall, which I think will be our main focus going forward. Is going to be transitioning from the starter base over to the Mega Mall. Alrighty, we've got some signals here. So the biggest one is currently -1. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put in iron sheet coils, 1,000. And copper sheet coils, 1,000. And copper wire coils, 500. Now these numbers are too low. Okay. So it's subtracting what's in the network, saying we've got 117 of those. So that's taking the first one, which is 1K. Outputting 200, 1K, 200. Okay. Where's my signal? Each. Outputting 5. So it's 5 stacks. And then it's saying 5 divided by 40 is nothing. Okay. So clearly we don't need a full train. If we move this up to 8,000, what happens? So now we need 40. 40 divided by 40 is 1. And it's outputting 1 and C. Okay. Okay, it's waiting at the stop. Now this is the really annoying bit that I don't quite understand. So ascending. All right, first things first. We want to make sure that we parse out the C. That we're not sending C over there. How do we do that? How do we get rid of the C? Because the problem is we're using each, and we need to use each. Because this is going to be different goods all the way, always coming in there. More picker, empty cargo inventory, and load is not full. Circuit condition. So it's not allowing us to select each. And there's not really a way of debugging this, is there? Okay. Let's turn this off for now. I'm going to put that there. That's annoying because it means that the trains are going to take ages to actually put that. The bots are going to take ages to put that down. But let's just kick off some more research while we wait. And we've already kind of specified exactly what we need in terms of science to unlock all the buildings. I was worried that we would need space science to get all of them, and it is in fact the case that we do need space science. Now here's a very interesting question. Okay, so to get the next level of power armor, we do actually need military science. Okay, so that answers that question. Because I definitely want some better power armor, and I don't want to be using these janky robots anymore. I mean, it is nice the way they teleport all over the place. Okay, this is a problem. This is actually only brass. I didn't realize that. I should have realized that, but... oh, we've got extra drop tiles and pickups and stuff like that. Enable, disable if aluminium plate is less than 50. Okay. Beautiful. Got so much different stuff being researched here. It's going to take me like 1,000,000 years to go through all of the tabs and actually highlight everything. But it's good to see. It's definitely good to see. So it still doesn't seem like we're quite tapping the total 15 per second. I really don't think we are with these labs. That's alright. We could cut the ends off and then send a whole bunch more up there. The belts are reasonably full. And it looks like the red is having a bit of problems actually getting the amount on there. But there's still 150 red signs on there, so can't be having that many issues. Yeah. Alright, and then this is... what do we say? We need 450. Alright, so we're just going to let that sit in the background. How's our... glass? Glass is pretty much ready to go. We could start building glass. We just have something to do while we wait for this. I'll wait for this commenter to go up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this one up directly. And we'll see if we can make the train go just by putting in a simple signal and then see if it takes the bait. Sounds like I'm trying to trick the train, but I've literally never done this before. Yeah. We could also do military, actually. That's something we could build right now. And it's not a bad idea. I mean, glass and military, I think, are two things that we can start building. Do we have... maybe... I think we'll leave military for next episode. We'll do a little bit of glass. We'll at least start setting up the glass. And maybe we'll set up the military as well. Put the train stations down, I mean. But this looks like a good place to do some military. Get the trees sorted out. Glass, I think, is not going to be too hard. Because if I remember correctly... okay, we got so much blue signs to get through. Ooh, insert a capacity bonus. That's a nice one. That's a very nice one. I would have beelined for that. I think it probably had a whole bunch of prerequisites, which is why I didn't grab it before. No, it didn't actually. We could even go for this. Pink, it's another 200. I'm tempted. I'm very tempted to go for that as well. Another 200. I mean, it's not like we're having problems producing red circuits. Even in the starter base anymore, it seems to produce a bunch of them. Alright, 66 should be enough. Need a bunch more inserters, and then the robot frames. Need another 70 or so of them. Alright. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Where are these robots going? Are they delivering to me? Or what? That's very weird. Very weird. Not sure where those robots were going. Let's chuck a bunch more in there. Where'd my red circuits go? I could have... Did I already put them in? I may have already put them in. Okay. Yeah. Looks pretty good. 2, 3, 4... Is there a way to speed this up? I don't think so. What a problem to have. You can't select research fast enough. Okay, well that should be enough, hopefully. You've just got to wait for this guy to work. And... Alright. So he said military. Maybe I should do military first. Let's have a crack. No, wait. All right, let's have a look at glass first. Because we know that we said glass is relatively simple. Glass is molten glass, glass mixture, silicon powder, silicon ingots. And if we have a look, so it's approximately multiplied by 10, divided by 10, same. So how much glass do we need for solar panels? All right, so one yellow belt should do it. Yeah, one yellow belt should do it. All right, so let's take a load for glass, and then let's take an unload for silicon ingots. And we'll build a single yellow belt of glass. And that should be... Ooh, train speed. Well, braking force, but it technically means trains can go faster. So, yeah, that's all good. Oh, I just saw substations. We definitely... Well, I mean, that's the number one thing we want to get, so... Okay, let's build backwards here. So, glass... I've got glass in my inventory already. That's nice. So casting machine, induction furnace. Of course, it's level 2. Okay, I'm missing a step somewhere. Glass, induction. Oh, that's right. We need glass mixture. Powder mixture. Alright, powderizer, powder mixture. Alright, let's get those buildings down. So we need... Thank you, research. So we got a powder mixer. We also need a powderizer. I don't actually see that here. And then we need induction furnace and casting machine. Where is my powderizer? Okay, it's over in a different tab somehow. So silicon powder, glass mixture, molten glass, and glass. Alright, so... Why do you have to do this to me with this 1.12 BS? It takes produces 3 every 40 seconds. No, 3 every 4 seconds. 3, so 0.75. times 1.5. So it's 1.125. 15 divided by 1.125 is 14. Right. $14 times 15 is 210, I think. So I need 5 of these guys. Yeah. So 15 times 40 divided by 3. That's exactly 200, actually. 15 times 40 divided by 3 is... So we need 200 molten glass per second, which this is fine. Which means we need 20 glass mixture per second. So that's actually a red belt. And this is a 1-to-1. You know what? It's... How did I get that math wrong? How did I get that math wrong? It's 3 to 40. You can do 4 to 40, but you got to mix lead in. Screw that for a joke. Okay, so here, I think we're just still going to take in a yellow belt, and then we'll just print out a little bit less than a yellow belt as output. It should still be fine. Because... Or do we put in a second belt of silicon? I mean, it's silicon ingots. We're making 6 full yellow belts of them, so... It's probably be fine to just put a second one in. Just to give us a little bit more oomph. Alright. Now, unfortunately, I was 0.5. So that means we need 40 of you guys. Okay. That's 4. We need red belts. Actually using red belts for the first time. Definitely do not need red belts for the red fast inserters for the output. And again, we need red belts for this. Alright. And then this is 3 per second. That's a lot better. And 3 per second. So I think we said we needed 20. Yep, 20 sounds about right. So that's 40 of these machines. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Done. And for 20 of these, we need 6 machines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, of course, we need a red belt. And we might as well just do this. You need 4.5, so technically that's 2 of these guys. Might as well do that. And then we just need a single pipe going down like that, and a single yellow belt coming out. And we'll line that up like that. And you're right, putting not a lot for each one, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Beautiful. I forgot to make these near, so... Whoop. There we go. That's a full yellow belt of glass. Got all the inputs, got all the buildings. We just need to automate the powder mixer and the powderizer. Which would be loads of fun. This is taking forever to make these. That's fine. I am happy to wait. Well, maybe not happy to wait, but we will wait. And we can already start to see that these are all 200, so there is actually going to keep our research going for a little bit longer. Alright. Let's have a look. Steel, clay brick, bronze plate. Alright. There's a nice place for you to go. You can just go there. Powderizer. Pick up. And now that we've got these extra drop tile positions, steel gears. Okay, we need steel gears. I'm kind of out of space here. Please tell me these are steel and not bronze. Okay, looks good. Yeah, so now we got these extra inserter range things. What we can do is we can put 2 extra inserters over here to unload the, to actually unload the train into the silo, or to load the train into the silo. So we can increase our load speed even further if we want to. But, I mean, those are also going to get faster anyway because of our research. I don't think we've upgraded the hand stack size yet, but it'll be in here. Inserter. Yeah, bulk inserter capacity bonus. Let's get that. Bulk inserter. The faster bulk inserter, we can upgrade a whole bunch of those. Inserter capacity bonus. Is that the one I said I was going to get as well? I can't remember. Bulk inserter capacity bonus 4. 2 different levels of that. That's very nice. And that is +1 each time. So we can see, because these are already like 10, 10, 10, 17. So this will approximately go up another 66%. So that'll go up to like 16. That'll go up to like 25 or something. It'll be good. It'll be very good. All right, so we got these. Where's that other weird building? The powderizer. Okay, it takes exactly the same ingredients. Nice. Okay. And what you're witnessing here is probably some of the last buildings that I ever make in the starter base. I think we'll be switching over to the mall pretty soon. Once we figure out how that bloody train works. Alright, powderizer. Done. Done. Have I got this thing placed? I do have this thing placed down. Alright. So I'm going to put a iron sheet coil of 1. Send the contents of the train. There's no train limit. There's no priority. Okay. Now. How do we... Maybe I'll need to... at specified station. That doesn't help us. Circuit condition. Single parameter. I might have to do a little bit of quick Googling. While we're streaming, I mean, it's all good. But how do Factorio... How do I set up a train interrupt that uses a circuit signal to determine the train station. There we go. How can I use interrupts to go to parameterized pickup stations? All right. Add. No, that doesn't. Maybe I need to watch a video, because a video would actually show me. Right now this is just a thread. Alright, what happens if we do this? Okay. No stops with this name exist. How do I set that? How do I translate this into that? All right. Okay, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Mall pickup. Add interrupt station. Each space load. If station is not full, each space load, save interrupt. All right. It's not doing it, is it? It's really not doing it. Iron sheet coil, going in, sending to the train. It doesn't like this. It just doesn't like it. Interrupt station. We may just have to play around. I'm just typing in random stuff here. Like, how do we tell it? Signal parameter load. Maybe it's signal parameter load. I don't think this is going to work, but... Hey! Okay. I think we're in business. We've got what we wanted. Okay. So it's this bloody signal. Okay. Station is not full. I could have sworn it was this one, but apparently not. Okay. Full cargo. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Okay, what's happening now? All right. What's going on here? 0 out of 0. Okay, that's fair. The actual station isn't ready. That's actually an interesting concern. Because, well, here's the interesting thing. According to this, we can actually look at the green signals and see which ones have availability. So maybe we can actually figure that out somehow. Actually say, okay, well, iron is the most signal we want, but it's not currently available. So if I change this to something that is available, let's say copper sheets. Two out of two. Okay, so that's full. Here's the problem. The problem is the load stations are backing up quite a lot. I didn't think about that actually. But yeah, okay, so the big problem is these trains are designed to wait in the load station until the unload station is ready to receive them. Which is a problem because that means all those stations are going to be full. Which is a problem because this means that this train is not going to be able to do anything. Oh, look at this. That's a massive increase. That's like almost 100 items per second. Okay. I need to think about that a bit. Because here is the problem. You cannot use a certain condition to change the name of train stations. I'm pretty sure. Like, you can't say signal parameter unload. It's not going to do anything. And then you pass in a signal parameter. It's not going to... So we have to be able to send this train out to pick things up. And I really don't want to have a different station for everything. I really don't. So we're going to have to think about this a little bit. Because in concept, this works. I mean, if we go over to... let's go over to something like Crotinium ore, because there's 4 stations. Yeah, so that one's available. So I'm actually going to get rid of that, because I don't want it to actually pick up a bunch of Crotinium, but... So the concept works. Okay. And circuit condition signal greater than 0. Okay. The question is, what do we do about it? Do we update these existing stations so that the train isn't waiting in the load? Does it go to a depot instead and just sit there? I mean, we could do something like full cargo. Could do that. That means we need a huge amount of depot space. But it does also mean that once a train is full, if there's no unload for it to go, like if we save that, that's going to update it for every single station. So that'll basically work now. Every single station that's not currently fully being loaded will immediately clear out. Wonder if there's an easy way to sort of see this. Like, let's go over to... like here, trains with this stop. Waiting at load. This one's, it's full and it's heading to the depot. Okay. We have immediately caused a problem. Immediately caused a problem. We are going to have backed up trains for 1,000,000 years. Yeah. So that is one solution. It's kind of a solution. It's not a great solution, but it is a solution to the problem. But I'm not sure if it's a solution I particularly like all that much. So we're going to remove that. Hopefully, this mess clears itself up. Should clear itself up as the trains start moving around. Hopefully. I'm not seeing any deadlocks. We're just seeing a whole bunch of trains with a whole bunch of goods in them trying madly to get into the depots. There we go. We got a train moving off. Trains are starting to go around. So hopefully over time that'll clear itself up. But do we get 1 billion different depots? Do we start changing these stations to be depots? That's an interesting idea. And because it always goes to the nearest one, so maybe we can change every single station that's default to be depot. And suddenly we've got 1,000,000 more depots just everywhere. I actually like that. I'm not sure if you can rename stations en masse, but I do kind of like that idea. I kind of do. All right. But anyway, that's enough of that. We're going to continue on with the signs, and I think we're pretty close to finishing the episode. If I go back to my live stream, we're actually only at 145. No, 157. My page just updated. We're at 157. So I got to go out to my parents in a bit. So we are probably not going to be doing too much more. Oh, come on, power. Of course, you have to wait 10 years for that power to get over there. Still got logistics science on the go. Got a decent amount, which is nice. Let's just double check how much we need. So, robot speed. Worker robot speed, we need 150. Plus, so that's 400. Plus, we have the logistics. We don't care about the warehouses, but the silos we know, so that's 450. And then I think we also wanted this. The bulk inserter capacity bonus I'm not too worried about because we just boosted that a lot. And that's mainly just used for trains. And if the trains are a little bit slow, it doesn't. But this one will be huge when it comes to doing like everything. That'll affect all of our inserters. So yeah. So it says 650. That's 200. That's should be fine. So yeah. So 650. Let's do Lodge. Because it is logistics science. It's pink science. And then I think that's pretty much it for this episode. We have made a lot of progress. We've done solar. No, we haven't done solar, but we've done batteries. We've done lead. Where's our lead build over here? And we've done glass. Glass, I definitely want to constrain. We'll definitely constrain that down to 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if we have a look at our solar panels, so done. Remember, silicon wafer is just monosilicon, so we got everything in there. And Battery, done, done, done. Electronic circuits are probably going to be a pain because we need a lot of them, and we also need them for the accumulators. Speaking of stuff we need, let's just queue that up. We also, I think we got, did we get, I can get substation 2s as well. I'm pretty sure my blueprint just uses substation 1s. So it's not a huge deal, but we get those as well. So substation 2s, we've got all of that stuff. And what else does this blueprint require? Stuff we've already got. Large power poles and roboports. So yeah, I think next episode is going to be solar. It's at the top of our list. It's got 20 billion exclamation marks after it. So yeah. And if we have a look at our stations, yeah, we got 33 depots and 389 defaults. So I feel like if we change all of the default stations over to depots, then we can update it nicely. And if we have a look at an existing, see, once they're loaded, they do have to go out onto the main line, but they can easily find another one to get out. Okay, hopefully we don't have any warnings about trains not being able to find their destination. We just have a bunch of trains. Hopefully there could be a deadlock, like, it's like iron will be like, oh, I need more sapphirite, and the sapphirite trains are all stuck trying to get to the thing, and therefore the train that's supposed to be picking up iron isn't never going to leave the depot because the station never blah, 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 blah. But it's fine. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. But yeah, it's very interesting. Why am I still... I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to see the glass go through. Make sure that it's being produced correctly. And then I think after that, we'll finish off the episode. But yeah. Just waiting on... That's a lot of those. I'm surprised they actually got built so quickly. These bots are... Okay, we're really not taxing the bots at all. We're using one single robot, and that's just to produce that power pole. That's all the robots are doing. But our base is still... Okay, I don't quite understand this. We've got 2,000 roboports. And they're each using 50 kilowatts. Let me do the math here. Are all those roboports just using 138 megawatts without even charging anything? All right, 22.7 times 5 is approximately 13. I think they are. I think literally these roboports, without charging a single robot, are using 138 megawatts. That is just incredible, incredible news. Well, I mean, we do have 2,700 roboports spread around this base. That is one of the most impressive logistics networks that I've ever built. It is crazy. But it's not really going to worry me because our solar is going to be putting out gigawatts upon gigawatts upon gigawatts of power. So we will be able to, like, roboports will be a small speck in terms of how much power we're going to be using eventually. Ooh, higher quality. We can kind of make all of that except for the lithium ion batteries. Carbon, plastic, cobalt. Okay. Cobalt requires cobalt ore, which is a high level. It's on the level of titanium and gold and stuff like that. So that requires the hybrid catalyst. Okay, so we won't be making lithium batteries anytime soon. Where's the next tier of solar? That's not actually too bad. That's doable. That's very, very doable. We're probably, I mean, it's not too bad. But then again, what is it? 90 kilowatts versus the existing one, which is 60 kilowatts. Okay, screw that for a joke. And then this one is 135, which is a decent jump on top, but then that requires titanium, all sorts of crazy stuff, and there's no tier 4. All right, I really am going to have to step off. What's the deal with this bot and this power pole? What is going on here? Where are you, bot? There it is. It's right there. It's trucking along at very, very, very slow speeds. God, we need that robot speed increase. I mean, what was it? It's plus 75. I think this will give us another 100%. If I remember correctly, if the robot... yeah. 45 plus 50, that's another 100%. And then if we start switching over to blue robots, we'll get another 100, another 50% on top of that. But a 50% total, not just 50% adding on to the 175 we'll end up with. Where's this? There it is. Give me... God damn this robot. Get the bloody power pole down, you stupid little... Come on. There we go. Alright. Near. These ones are already neared and farred and stuff like that, so... I just realized we said we needed 20, right? 3, 18... Yeah, 40 of these, so we actually need 2 more of these. Because this is only producing 18. That's alright. We are getting a bunch of glass coming out. So a lot of these machines are spinning up. Okay, beautiful. I am happy with that. Happy with glass. This should be a full yellow belt eventually. Eventually. Once these two get put down. Yeah, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. It should be close to a full yellow belt already. It really should be. I think it's getting a little bit closer. Anyway. We're done. We're done with this episode. We are going to be moving on. I'm not sure when... I'm on leave at the moment, which is why I'm doing a lot more than just one episode. Although I was working last week and I still did 4 episodes, so... I'm not sure, but definitely this week I feel like we'll be doing the most episodes you'll ever see, because I'm on leave and I've got plenty of spare time, but when I get back to work, I'm not sure. But for now, I think we're going to sign off. We've done a lot of great stuff. We did lead over here. We did batteries. We did glass. We did we did the science setup, which is going pretty nice, but still not using a full 15 per second, but still doing our research pretty damn quickly. And if we did it even faster, we'd be spending every single second in the research window, which would suck. And next episode is going to be solar, and I might just have to... We might just have to make substations, because the Mega Mall has hit quite a bit of a hiccup with this train routing issue, so... And a part of me really doesn't want to just go through every single station and rename it to Depot, but I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think that's what we're just going to have to go through every single station And anything that's not currently an active train, we'll rename it to depot. And then we can switch over and get them to unload and stuff like that. And most importantly, we can upgrade this station blueprint, make all of these depots, and then going forward, it'll be fun. All right, so I'm going to sign off now, and I will catch you guys maybe tomorrow, not sure when, but I'll catch you guys later. So this has been Hairymuppet. Have a good day.